It's really complicated, you know, when you want to explore your mind into, you know, the life you're living, when you have so much ideas, you know, you want to just let it out. Yeah. And then you think about it, you're like, whoa, you know, these people are really underestimating me, you know? They think that I'm not capable of doing this or doing that or being something, you know? And it all comes back to this limit of the language. They're not wanting to know what's in our mind. They just want to see what we can do. And for us to do something, there's always that limit of language, or that limit of, you know, trying to observe this Western life and put it in, you know, how we know our own lives. Perhaps they assume that we're behind, or pretty much that we're down. We're not really on that state of learning yet. For us girls, like Sudanese African girls, we need that confidence of even if I have that small idea, to let it out. And I really regret big time, you know, not having that outgoing girl thing, or that personality of you know, feeling myself that, oh, I have an idea, I should put my hand up and, you know, say it. But then I have this fear, if I said this, it might come out wrong, you know, it might not be the right sentence, you know, and I'll be like, okay, I better not. And that's been what's happening all the time with me. I was in psychology class, I was in math class, religion class, every single class. I have this fear of putting my hand up and just, you know, even though I have the right answer. And there are moments as well, you know, when a teacher asks a question and I know it, and then he asks the whole class and nobody knows it, right? And everybody's just quiet, and I have this feeling, yes, go for it. But then I was like, okay, people are gonna look at me weird, you know? Try to give them chances. Try to ask them, like, do you understand this? Do you know this? You know, in that classroom of maths, the teacher never asked me, do you know algebra? She would just tell me, do you understand it? Do you know what this word means? And of course I tell her no. And by saying no, she means that I don't understand the subject, you know? She thought that I don't understand the subject. But I understood the subject, it's just that the wording, you know? The numbers, the equations, the way they do it, it's really similar to the way we do it in Arabic.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Sister She acknowledged the traditional owners of the land that we're on. We acknowledge that Australia has had a black history and Australia has a black future. I'm a black girl and I get all emotional talking about this stuff, but folks are close and it's ocean emotion. I can't sit back or take a black seat back because the colour of my skin is black. What is it? What is it? This colour that I'm in, this culture that I'm in, brings a contradiction. What is black? What does black mean? And if you wanted to get personal, I'm actually in between. Black girl.
Told the girls, you know, I want to do this African dance, you know, let's do it and stuff. Everybody was so excited to do it, and they all got into it. And then I felt really powerful because it was my idea and they really wanted to do it. And then I was instructing everything, you know. I was that boss, I was that, you know, powerful girl, you know, that, hey, do this, don't do that, you know, like, that was really awesome. That was a really good day for me. It's the happiest day. I came to Australia in 2004, June 2004, and I went to Language Center early July. And from there I stayed until like 1 term, so approximately 3 months. And then I started E9 at the last term at my high school. And from there, yeah, I started going on with my schooling. It was really a big jump in a very short period of time. I thought I had that language, you know, because I didn't know how high schools were, and I thought it was the same as, you know, the language school. But when I got there, I realized that, you know, at language school, there are a lot of help. You know, they help you develop your language, they help you develop perhaps your confidence as well, you know, and just letting it out. Where in high school, you're just with your own, you know, you're on your own, you're doing what they tell you to do. I don't know, there's a lot to be changed, you know, there's a lot of things to be let out, you know. They could be simple things, and I'm sure there's simplicities the principal wouldn't care, you know, because they're ordinary things. They might think it happens, you know, in everyday life. Giving opportunities to Black young women, you know, to explore their ideas, to let their mind out there. It could work in many ways, you know, like you know how in schools we have like students of the year, or any activities that happens in school, you know, these kind of important things, you know, to make African girls participate in it. In my point of view, my confidence was getting over my fears, you know, having that feeling of yes, I can do, you know. When I first got to school, I had that limitations of my mind thinking that I can't do this. I don't have that, you know, that language to do that. I don't have that, you know, something, a pushing source that I can, you know, do something like really good at school or at any class. So what I'm saying is that I'm sure every single year 7 or every single person who arrives newly to Western schools, they have that feelings of, you know, not being good enough, you know, not being good even at all. If you're confident, you are more willing to take everything in, you know. You'll understand what's going on around you, and you will be, you know, that bubbly person everybody loves. And when they love you, they'll help you when you need, you know, help, or, you know, when you need anything. Hesitation, it's a sign of failure, you know. If you hesitate to answer a question that a teacher has been asked, then you'll be like, oh, I shouldn't do it. And when you don't do it, they'll just underestimate you. They'll think that you're not that smart. My dream eventually is to finish my university, finish my course, and I want to get into international human development, where I can work with any of the aid organizations, like Oxfam or World Vision, Caritas, UNICEF, you know, somewhere where I can just go back to my people and try to help them as much as I can.
If anyone who wasn't white, didn't look like you, couldn't be Australian, couldn't really be true blue. What is Australian anyway? The greatest Australian white or white kids on the TV eating Vegemite? I can only love my